Anyway, we watched some Violet Evergarden.
Yeah, we did. I think.
Episodes 7,
Wait,
10, and 13.
Wait, it wasn't Violet Evergreen?
Fuck off.
Wait, it wasn't Violet Evergreen Terrace?
No,
Oh,
it's Violet Evergrande, remember?
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
you
right,
have to
right.
keep that in mind. Anyway, we'll just start with the fucking obvious question. What do you guys think I thought of this show?
We know
Spooky,
you like it.
Spooky, you literally cried during the show. You don't even get to ask that question.
And
I
you literally were telling us about well, when there's like a show that like I want to make cry, it's like it's out of the two choices. Like, how do I want to cry? And it's like, okay, yeah, we get it. We know you love this show.
I do. I have to ask because maybe somebody didn't listen to the commentary. You know.
Okay, fair, but
So-
also you don't get to tell us that. You can tell the listener that. You don't get to ask us what we think.
Who
That's
listens
the
to the
freaking
commentary? That's why we make terrible, terrible, terrible jokes.
Yeah, we sure do.
And Spooky cries over a mansion.
I cry.
Oh my god,
I just
we
really
made so
am
many
passionate about
bad
mansions.
jokes.
We
Oh
yeah
my god.
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I
Ooh.
guess let's just hop right into this.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm starting. So, episode 7. We see a poster of a play, but the play is happening, and someone's watching the play, and then it ends, and everyone's like, good job. And a girl mentions that she's reading the play instead, and her name is Violet. It's Saber and Spooky hanging out, talking to each other. What?
I wish.
What? It's Saber and Spooky, yeah. Lots
Together
of
at
flowers in the anime intro, also fire, there's a fake hand. Someone has some letter requests for Violet since she published love letters. There's a steamboat, then we see Violet fucking around and taking a carriage, knocking on a door, dude answers, and she's like, I'm a memory doll, and we're like, what? And she looks like a lady that he knew, and it makes him sad, and she is a doll who is someone who types or something for other people. She's basically a scribe. The dude wants to drink. She says no. He says yes. He says we'll do it tomorrow. And then she's like, okay. She lost her hand in a war. We later find out she lost her hands in a war. And then she cleans his laundry room. And he forces her to buy paper and make a carbonara dinner for him. And she doesn't know how to cook. But she gets the instructions, and she also doesn't eat the carbonara with him, and she also hides his liquor, and then he also imagines her for a bit as that girl that we still don't know who it is. That's weird. And they finally get to writing this play that he's working on. She gets excited about the play she's writing down and feels the things that the protag is, and she's being empathetic. And they talk about how the play protag really needs to get back home to her dad. And then they go outside in the sun for a bit, but then he goes back inside and he cries. And she carries this parasol around that she found, and he goes, you shouldn't do that, go home. And she's like, I don't understand. And she's like, you're hiding something from me. And he's like, it's my daughter. I mean Olivia, not the character protagonist we've been writing about. Olivia.
It's Olive.
No, that's the protag camp. This is Olivia. They're totally different.
Sorry. They're totally different. That's right.
Absolutely.
My apologies.
I can't believe it's a non-common mistake, but I could understand how you may have thought that. It's okay. She dreams about flying for a bit, and the wind does a thing, and she's like, Dad, I'm gonna walk across the lake one day. And then she dies.
Yay! Oh.
And then Violet gets emotional about it and does a cry under herself. She's like, I don't understand why I'm crying. And then she, is in her bedroom, nibbling on her gym thing for a bit. And then the dude comes up and says, we'll write the story, we'll finish it. And they need to figure out how she ends the play. They're like, I don't know. Would she take a plane? No, that's boring. We need something more interesting. So she flies away with the parasol to go find her father. And then he's like, go over there and act it out so I can figure out what she would say when she landed. And she does. and it makes him fucking bawl like a baby. And she walks on some leaves, apparently, which is like, oh, okay. And then the dad cries more, and his dead daughter's soul says bye. And then Violet just, like, falls in the fucking water, and he goes, I don't believe there is a god, but if there is, it's you. And then he takes her home, and she is given the gift of the parasol, and she leaves on a boat. And on the boat, she starts thinking about things, and the people that she killed. I'm not joking. And talks to her military major if she's allowed to die or not, like, in a memory. And then her ship lands, and an old Grady says, heyo, sorry Gilbert died. And she's like, what? And she runs back to, I guess, her job, and she's like, what the fuck? Like, you said he lived. What the shit? And she's like, no, you couldn't have handled it. And then she, like, shoves him away and runs away and is in denial, and then that's the episode.
I love how you're just like how you're just like, yeah, his daughter's soul comes and says bye, and it's like just in total passing. You
do have to keep in mind. You do have to keep in mind, Spooky. My view on death is going to be completely skewed in the last couple years. Right. I have literally experienced death myself and come back from it to a point that, like, it doesn't affect me in the way it's going to affect most people.
Right.
So I will sit here and crack as many fucking jokes as I can.
You did.
I did.
Yeah. You sure did.
Maybe a few too many, in fact.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's just funny. It's just funny, like, in passing for people listening. Like, what, huh? Mm-hmm. What's happening?
What?
Why?
But, yeah. Gam?
Now we go to episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
This is where so the first episode I was like, okay, I don't really understand this. I'm trying to understand, like, what's going on here. And then at the end of it I was like, okay, I get this.
It was
episode 10 opens and I'm like, well, this is the spooky episode.
No, this was a deer episode, because the heart problems.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right, because the mother has pulmonary hypertension.
Oh, fuck off.
So, we open up on a little girl playing with an Annabelle doll. And she's like, hi, little doll, I love you. And the doll's like, and we find out
that doesn't happen, guys.
No, it does. I don't know what you're talking about.
It does. I remember seeing it. It's okay. What happened.
I remember seeing it too. We laughed about it. It was great.
Yeah.
So
we realize, okay, this little girl lives in, like, a mansion. She's got like okay, there's, like, her mother is in bed, so her mother's sick of some sort. The little girl's kind of in the way of things at the moment, because, like, a lot's going on and the kid doesn't really understand it, but whatever. Then Violet shows up. Well, hey! And she's here to talk to the mother and write stuff for the mother, because I guess that's her job. She's a doll, and we don't really get told what being a doll really means. Like it's a scribe, but, like, why are they called dolls? I don't know. Spooky will probably tell me, or not. Anyway, she sits down and she gets given some tea, and the little girl's like, wait, if you're a doll, what happens when you drink tea? And Violet just goes, I pee. So then the mother's like, hey, little girl, go away.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Go away, I have to write some letters now, bye-bye. And then the mother, like, starts collapsing and clutching her chest a little, and it's like, oh, okay, this is the deer episode. Mm-hmm. Got it.
Yeah, because the first episode was about emotional trauma of losing, like, a family member, which is Spooky's whole spiel, and then my whole spiel is having heart problems and losing the people around you and shit and stuff like that. Like, and all of most of the family members I've had close to me have died of heart problems. So
the episodes, if you switched the illnesses, would actually work better for each of us respectively for 7 and 10. Because 10's more about losing losing family. You know what I'm trying to say. Sorry.
One's losing a daughter, one's losing a mother.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we she's like, oh, wait, after the mother has heart palpitations. So the mother goes to, like, the bed and, like, needs to sleep, and so the kid's like, I will entertain you now, Violet. And then she's like, hold this doll, and she's like, oh my god, a doll is holding a doll. And then there's a cute bonding moment between Violet and the daughter. The daughter, I will make this note, the girl is really, like, the kid is a really well-written kid. Like, they're not an annoying kid, they're just a kid. And it's really well-written about, like, hey, this is probably how a kid would actually react to these sorts of things going on.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, and she's a little bonding moment with the doll, and then we cut back and forth, like, a little bit of a montage with, like, Violet spending time with the daughter, and then, like, we follow the daughter throughout this episode and, like, her perspective on everything. And she's, like, watching Violet and the mother write these letters, and the mother reads one of them and starts to cry, and it's like, okay, what little kid desperately wants to know what these letters are. She's like, Violet, you gotta tell me, and she's like, no, I can't tell you, and she's like, well, I know it's not letters to my father, because he died during the war. And so she's like, well, I can't tell you, it's confidential, I'm sworn to confidentiality, and she's like, me. Then we get more montage of, like, Violet spending more time with the kid, like, reading to the kid, and spending time and playing with the kid, as, like, the mother clearly can't, because she's busy, and, like, needing to be in bed, because she's very clearly ill. And then, as the mother is laying in bed, and Violet's sort of getting ready to read the letter, and sort of read it back to her, and sort of write some more, she's like, the little girl peeks in through the door, and the mother notices her as she's, like, clutching her chest a little bit. And the little girl's like, oh, I wasn't spying, I just wanted Violet to tie a bow in my hair. And the mother's like, oh, okay, well, she'll do it later. And Violet's like, I'll do it now. And so she goes out the door and ties the bow, and the little kid's like, I didn't really want you to tie it, I wanted my mother to tie it. And it's like, yeah, I'm sorry, but, like, she wants to get these letters done, and, like, that's what I'm here to do. And she's like, stop taking my mother's time away from me. Like, all these things that my mother used to do with me, now you're doing them with me, like, and you're spending all her time with her. And it's like, I want this time back. It's like, yeah, that's how a child would probably perceive what's going on. Anyway, we cut to another scene of Violet and the mother writing letters again. And Violet's like, are you okay? And the mother's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, I know my chest is collapsing, and, like, I'm unable to really stand or anything or move much, but hey, I'm fine. And then she collapses again, and the kid runs out and is like, Mom, like, fucking stop. Like, you don't have much time left. Like, it doesn't matter who you're writing these letters to. Like, they don't care about you. They're not here. Otherwise, they would be here. Like, I'm here, like, but you don't want to spend time with me, because, like, you care so much more about these letters than you do about me. Like, what's more important, me or these letters? And a whole scene of, like, a kid that very clearly feels responsible for the mother's illness and, like, wants to spend as much time with her mother as possible because her mother's very clearly going to die soon. The mother holds her composure and starts to cry a little bit at the end, though. And the kid runs away, and Violet's like, I'll get her, and runs after her with her RoboCop legs, and starts chasing her down and tackles the kid, and starts punching the kid back and forth, until we realize, oh, wait, that didn't happen. Gam made that up. She starts talking to the kid and being like, hey, it's not your fault, like, it's okay, like, the letters are important, like, but, like, she still loves you, like, don't worry, like, you're not responsible for your mother's illness. And the kid's like, no, it is completely my fault, it's because I'm a bad child, like, that's the reason why, like, my mother has this illness, and, like, she's going to be gone soon, and it's all my fault. Violet consoles her and takes her back, and the letters get finished, and Violet returns back, and we cut to a beautiful montage of when we discover what the letters actually were, and it was we cut to the funeral where the mother has died, unfortunately, and we see everyone leaving. Dying? Yeah, the mum was dying, by the way. Everyone is left one by one except for the daughter, who stays there for a longer time. And then we cut to a little while later where it's the child's 8th birthday party, and she gets a letter. And it's one of the letters that her mother wrote. And this is where you learn that the mother's letters that she was writing was one for every year for her daughter after she dies, to be sent and given to her after every year. And Violet tells all the other dolls this at the thing, and they're like, "Oh, this is wonderful! Like, it's something." And she's like, "This is terrible! Like, she's desperately giving her, like, she's got this terrible illness, and she's going to die, and she's leaving the thing most precious to her alone in the world, and like, there's nothing she can do about it, and she's doing everything she can to try and protect her child and keep her child from being like lonely or feel like she's been forgotten or abandoned in the world." And that's when the episode kind of ends on that sort of a bittersweet moment, and we cut to a montage of the girl getting the letters year after year, and sort of like, "Hey, you're 18 now. I don't know if you're in love or not, but like, if you are, I hope they're nice. I hope they're good to you. Like, I can't really tell you much about love, but I hope you go through your journey. Like, I hope you have a pleasant journey through it all," and stuff like that. And it's a really beautiful montage, and that's when Violet starts to cry, and it's like, oh, Violet's got emotions too. Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And then that's the end of the episode, and my final notes say, Violet cry because mother will die.
God.
Yeah.
I love episode 10. And then I cried because of a mansion or something.
Yeah, and then Spooky cried because Spooky just really wanted a mansion.
Yeah, I just really, really wanted a mansion.
You just really wished your mom could die and leave you a mansion, you know?
Yeah,
okay.
That's just all I want in life, you know? Mm-hmm. I'll call up my mom right now and be like, "Hey, Mom, you need to buy a mansion," and then die.
Oh my god.
It'll be fine.
That's all I want in life, Mom, is for you to buy a mansion and
Do you
die.
do you not want me to have a mansion, Mum?
Yeah.
Do you not want me to have a mansion?
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god.
But yeah. Man, episode 10 is so good. It's my favorite shit. Listen to the commentary if you want to hear me fucking cry.
Yeah, Spooky cries over a mansion.
I cried over a mansion.
And what was it that you said? I asked if you were okay. Your response was...
I was like, "Oh yeah, I love this shit."
I love
like,
pain.
Crying. I was like, "I love this shit. I love feeling pain."
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Anyway,
Episode 13.
yeah.
I was yawning.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
we were joking that like episode 7 was the Spooky episode, episode 10 was the Deer episode, and then episode 13 would have been me. So I was like, what would it be about? Abuse and suicide. And then
we see some smoke and some guns, and Violet's getting shot in the arm, and then the gun's empty, and they're standing on a train, and then the dude just tries to jump off the train, but she stops him.
He doesn't
see. Oh, that's right.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
But she almost loses her gym. But then, the Major's brother is apparent. I only knew it was him because Spooky told us.
Spooky
Major's
gave us that information.
Sorry.
brother is up on the train and saves it, and then they pass a bridge, and there's bombs, and then the Major's brother rushes off so they can stop the train, but it doesn't stop without the emergency brakes, and then the gun dude just jumps off the train into
kills himself.
fucking
Yep, he
canyon.
kills himself. It's pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Oops.
And then Violet and some dude kick a bomb off the train. Spooky said he's unimportant. It's fine. Well, Violet tries to rip the other one off, and then her arm breaks, but then she tries again, and it rips off entirely. But the bomb goes too. And then it goes boom, and everyone's okay, and the kid that doesn't matter catches Violet, so she doesn't die.
Yeah, he's not important. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. So back at the Capitol, we're writing more letters of peace and safety, and a peace treaty, and Violet seems to go back to writing letters and being emotional now. She's writing a letter to a dead son, and then we cut them to them planning an air show with one day left of work. Boob's character also thinks about writing a letter. She was a dancer, and she wanted to write some soldiers she knew. Violet's never written herself a letter, though, so that's something. So she write ones to the Major. But, sorry.
Do you want to explain who the major is?
Her major.
Yeah. Yes, that was the explanation. Go.
It's
from the war. Because Violet was a soldier in the war.
Yeah.
I just love it.
I literally talked about this earlier where I was like, she thinks about the people she killed. I wasn't joking.
Well, she didn't kill him.
She didn't kill him.
She didn't kill him.
Well, she thinks she killed him.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Kind of.
Because she blames herself.
So she's writing a letter to the major, and she's she's remembering things, and she was apparently dismissed by him, but wanted to stay with him. And she's like, orders are everything. And then he's like, don't follow anyone's orders. And this is an order to live free, but also it's not. And I'm like, I'm a tool. I do whatever you tell me. Major's like, no, I love you. And why are you acting like you don't have emotions? But apparently she doesn't actually understand her own emotions. And god damn it, dear. I typoed and I put, but also she limbs him.
She limbs him.
She limbs him.
Violet Evergreen limbs the major.
The major is upset. He made her unemotional and into a tool and shit when she trusted him. And they'll talk about it later after this big fight where nothing will go wrong.
Yeah. It's the last big fight of the war. Nothing bad could possibly happen.
Yeah, no, it's the last day before retirement. They're fine. She winds up not being able to write this letter, though. What are feelings? I don't know. And then the others give her a deadline of at least tonight and in one sentence. And then she has someone come to see her. She's like, oh, it's him. But it's not. It's his brother. And he takes her to their home, and she's taken to their mom. And her mom is like, oh, I wanted to meet you and take you in and stuff. And she doesn't really know that Gilbert is dead, but she also does. And then Violet's like, here's this gem. They're like, oh, it's the same eye colors as him. And then flashback to her saying that to the major when he got it for her, I assume. And they're having an emotional, date thing. And then the old lady asks how she knew him, and she says many things, and the reason she's there comes up, and Mom goes, it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Don't carry that burden, bro. Also, I think my son's alive, and my heart and yours, and this is the 5th time in a row they give her hope, where it's like, hey, someone named something major's here for you. What?
It's for a split second.
And then they're like, oh, hey, he's alive, and she's like, huh? In my heart. Oh. It's like, okay. This is the millionth time this has happened. She then leaves, and the brother looks cranky-wanky, and before crawling over, and
cranky-wanky?
Yes, he looks cranky-wanky. It's
cranky-wanky.
Yes. And then he calls over, and he's like, live in his honor, please, and then die. That's an order. And she's like, I don't need orders, and leaves. Ooh, shit. and then she leaves. And she writes the letter. And the air show's happening as credits roll. And a girl runs up that I don't know and goes, hey, what's up? And she's like, yeah, no, my parents are dead. I wrote them too. And Spooky wrote a letter to someone she likes.
Yes.
And Blonde Kid wrote his boss a letter saying, I'm gonna steal your job. And then Boss wrote to his future daughter. And a plane flies over.
And then Boss wrote to his future daughter, and then everyone laughed at him and called him daddy.
And called him daddy.
That's the important part here. That's the takeaway.
That is
because he's like, dear future, daughter, daddy's, soon to see you, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, papa.
They're like, ooh, daddy. And then planes start flying over and drop literally all of the letters to the dead people into the air, thus littering everywhere.
Yeah, but it's good littering.
No, it's really not.
It's positive littering.
We then recap about Violet's letter, asking when the major will come back and how she's learned about emotions, and then we think about everyone she wrote to and how they helped her learn to be a human being again. And then she's like, I love you. And then there's this new urgent request for her to leave. And she kind of stares at the typewriter for a moment. And she's like, okay, I'm good. And she leaves, and she goes and meets a client, and then that was it.
She goes and meets a client.
Yeah.
Shit. What was the thing that I just mentioned a second ago that I was like, I'm definitely gonna bring that up?
Daddy?
No, I think it was after Daddy. Fucking. Oh, never mind. It was just, I heard him. It was just a bad joke. I was just gonna say they just get out of a war. They can have a little bit of littering as a treat. Also, I feel like after Daddy should be like a time period. Like there's AD.
Well, it is AD.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's the problem for me, though. I would be that asshole who would be too interested in what all those letters said, and would pick them up and open them. Yes,
they're all letters to like dead people or people that you can't actually deliver mail to. And Deer's like, I'm gonna read them all, and then I'm gonna call the boss Daddy.
I'm gonna call everyone Daddy.
No,
I'm gonna laugh in
read
his
them all
face
because I'd just be like, I want to know the types of relationships that other people had, and just like learn about their lives, even if I would never have met them. But yeah, I'm absolutely that asshole. I am the asshole that would take the quarters out of a fucking fountain.
Yeah. I just want to say real quick, Em, for you, this one goes out to you. Apparently they're called dolls because Auto Memories doll refers to the prototype of the typewriter that's in that world that they use. So it became a nickname for the girls that type.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, so there you go. I looked it up for you. Also, Dear, this one's for you real quick. Apparently one of the fan nicknames for Violet was PTSD Saber. So, there you go.
So can we just talk about... Well, no, I guess we should probably leave for the commentary track. The fucking Violet Evergreen.
God, no. Basically, all you guys need to know is it's like the line, there's like a single line that the whole fucking anime builds up to, and these two started making jokes directly before it happened, and then we're just laughing at themselves, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is what's happening right now?
Yeah, we missed the line.
Yeah, you guys missed the line.
I didn't. It was
I
literally...
did.
Yeah. It was literally just I love you.
Yeah,
okay.
so for some
I didn't miss it then.
Yeah.
I thought it was like a more impactful line. I was like, oh, okay, I must have missed it then.
Well,
it's like, oh no, it was just I love you.
Say, it would be, to you guys it wouldn't have been that impactful, right? But the whole reason...
I understand why it's impactful, though.
Well, I'm gonna rewind a little bit and kind of talk about shit you guys didn't get to see as much.
We didn't get to see anything.
So, fuck you. Anyway, so... Violet, when she was, like, very, 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 very small, very young, was basically kidnapped by these people, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna train you to be a fucking soldier, and that's all you're gonna be. You're just gonna be a fucking killing machine. And that's exactly what she does. And then Gilbert's brother gets her, and he's like, fuck yeah, now we have the fucking war machine, go kill people. And she's just, like, raised only knowing how to be a soldier. So that's why when Gilbert ends up being her major, it's, like, so important to her, because he's the first person that's like, yo, you're not just a killing machine, you are a person, and... you deserve to be treated like a person. He blames himself mainly because he didn't, like, instantly release her, almost, I guess. Like, he definitely wasn't the one that made her that way.
Yeah.
And the thing, I guess, I really like about Violet Evergarden, right? Because I feel like it touches on themes that are touched on a lot, and normally they're not done well, right? So, like, the emotionless girl figuring out what emotion is normally isn't done well. And the, like, oh, she was a fucking killing machine type scenario, like, can kill anybody type thing, normally isn't done well. But Violet Evergarden, like, takes those things
You mean Violet Evergreen.
Yeah, Violet Evergreen, or Violet Evergrande, takes those things and kind of writes them, like, slightly differently, but to a point where they work. Like, her struggles aren't really anything involving the war anymore now. Her struggles are her trying to figure out herself and figure out, like, how to live and how to be, like, a normal person.
It's the concept of a soldier trying to fit into peacetime.
Yes.
Like, how do I fit into this world when I'm not built for this world?
Right. And
I'm not built for peace, I'm built for war.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they take the concept of, like, emotionless, and they're like, the big thing with Violet Evergarden is it's not that she was emotionless. It's that she didn't understand what emotions were. And that's, like, a big difference. Which is why I liked it a lot. And when you first meet her, she is way more deadpan, she is way more blunt, because she doesn't understand, like, holding things back. She doesn't get that. But the emotion was always there. And the reason why the I love you is so fucking important at the end is because when she starts working at the Memory Doll's place, which the boss guy was also a major in the war. So that's why he hired some people who, like, were soldiers, and he hires Violet because he was, like, BFFs with Gilbert, you know? So he's like, hey, like, live here, work here, I got you. And he's like, hey, you can deliver mail because, you know, you can get around fast, you won't get, like, worn out, like, here you go. And she was like, no, I want to write mail. Like, I want to write the letters for people. And they're like, why? You know, and she's like, before Gilbert died, he told me he loved me, and I don't understand what that means. So the ending is her realizing that the entire time she's known what love was, she just didn't understand it fully.
Yeah.
And I think a big part of it is she didn't want to fully admit to it, you know, especially considering Gilbert's, like, fucking dead. R.I.P. Like,
until, of course, the second season where they resurrect him through dark magic.
No, it's fine. Like I said, she gets a movie.
Press F to pay respect.
She's, like, a little bit gay in the movie. It's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know.
Cam, you first.
I'd say probably an 8 or a 9. I like it a lot. I like what it's going for, and I feel like with the things that it talks about and the way it handles them, I feel like it does it in a way that doesn't feel tropey or tired or lazy with the writing. Like I said with the kid, like the way they write the kid and the way we follow the kid throughout this entire episode, it's like really well written to how a kid, an actual child, would respond to this situation. And like the things that the child says are hurtful, but the child doesn't realize how hurtful they are. But it's like in a typical shitty, like, family movie or whatever, the kid would say these things, and it's like, well, the kid knows that it's terrible, like, just how bad things they're saying are, and it's like a dramatic moment of like, but like this one, it's like, yeah, no, the kid, like, saying that, like, no one really cares about you anyway to her dying mum is like, yeah, a kid would say that, not realizing how terrible a thing that is to say, because she doesn't fully she doesn't fully comprehend what's going on or how everything is affecting her and her mother. Yeah, no, I really like it. I probably would go back and watch it all. I don't know. If it, considering it's only 13 episodes, I'm, like, more inclined to go back and watch it sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely helps. What about you, dear?
Same. Like, 8, 9.
Oh, yeah. I gave it a 9. Yeah.
Honestly, I think I would give it a 9 if it was called Violet Evergreen.
Fucking god damn it.
I was thinking Violet Wintergreen.
That's the second season, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Violet Wintergreen.
God damn it. Violet Wintermint.
Yes.
It's the third season.
Spearmint.
Yeah, then it goes to Spearmint. It just changes slightly every time.
Peppermint.
You know? But, yeah, no, I don't know. I think this is an amazing show. Obviously. This has become, like, the new, here's a sad show. Boop. Like, it's like,
Yeah,
because
honestly, I feel like I'm going out on a limb, but I'm assuming nearly every single episode is this idea of like Violet goes to a person and they have their own, or the scenario around the person is some sort of either traumatic event or incredibly emotional event.
Yeah.
Or trip through life, and it's Violet sort of experiencing it and both trying to process it and trying to apply what's going on to her own life,
yes,
and how to apply it to herself, and how to like use that experience to then go, okay, this is how these people react in this situation. How do I feel emotion? Like, how do I do it? Like, is this how I do it? How do I do it? And learning from it.
Yeah, and like I said, for this, I was like, okay, what are just 3 of my favorite episodes? Because for the most part, the nature of the show is pretty episodic. Like, it's like, I could have shown you guys 3 episodes that had no plot at all, and you know what I mean? We could have just watched them. And each thing would have just been a standalone story. So I was just, for this one, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to pick 3 of my favorites. Initially, I was actually going to show 7, 10, and 11, but 11 and 13 are like kind of equal to me.
What happens in 11?
11 is Violet has to write a letter for a soldier to his family.
Okay.
But as she's writing the letter for the soldier, he dies.
She killed the soldier?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So then she gets to deliver his words, like his last words to his family.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really good. I don't know. I really like all of, like, I don't know. All of the episodes are really good. Not all of them are like super sad. Like some of them, like the love letters one is about a princess who's writing to her future husband, and they have like this tradition in that kingdom to like basically write a public love letter.
So that's why the episode 7 starts with, ever since like you posted that letter,
yes,
like ever since the love letters got published, everyone wants you.
Yes.
Okay, so like,
which
that
that was an episode I also kind of considered. It was also a really good episode. But then I was like, nah, 7's way more important to like me and just I think in general. So I went with that. But yeah, I'm really glad you guys liked it. I was honestly slightly worried going into this because I was like, I feel like I tend to react better to emotional things than you two.
You don't say.
Yeah.
The jokes we freaking cracked.
No, I react to it, but I don't. Okay, it's not that I react. Okay, I don't
react in a different way.
No, it's that I don't react externally anymore because I'm unable to. But it's like internally, it's like I get this,
yeah,
and like I have my own sort of reaction going on of like, this is really neat.
Right.
Probably about 5 years ago, this would have made me cry.
Yeah. See, I'm like the exact opposite, and I go on the rooftop and like scream about how much I love when things make me feel.
Yeah.
Which is like a very like intimate thing that I only really get with media. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I don't know. It becomes...
Yeah, you are pretty fucking weird, Speedy.
Yeah, I'm really weird. I love anime. Did you know that, people listening? I know that's a shock, but I do. But yeah. Any final thoughts? Anything?
Good night.
Any questions?
Good anime. Next week we're watching Cory in the House.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.